Freddy!
Sorry. This old car doesn't always like to start.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Grave Media. This is Josh here, checking in on you out there in YouTube land. YouTube, how are you doing? Welcome to the night before Halloween, also known as Devil's Night. I hope you watched The Crow tonight. That's one of my traditions. One of those things I always try to do. I've been doing it since I was 16, 17, whenever that movie, I don't even know, man. I mean, I've been watching it for so long. It's my wife's favorite movie next to Interview with the Vampire, so it's just so cozy, so friendly, so tragic, so sad. Love that movie. Always sets me up for Halloween. And tonight, me and old Punky here, we're taking a real chance, man. We're going back to old reliable, old faithful. We're going to dig in the well one more time. My Late Night with the Devil second sight 4K is delayed. It's up there in Portland. It says it's actually like right next door, and I'm tracking it right. I can't seem to get it. I wanted to intercept it when I was at work. Such is life. Tonight, we are talking about Rob Zombie, not this one. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, the theatrical release. I know. Sometimes you got to be bold. You got to take a stand. I'm going to take you back in time to one of my best theater experiences, one of my favorite theater experiences, watching Halloween 2. Let's check it out. Happy Devil's Night. Let's get weird. Look, I'm not trying to bullshit you, and I'm not most likely damn not going to try to sell you after all these years to revisit one of the most panned and despised Halloween films ever released. A movie that actually totally shook me 15 years ago and actually caused a breakup in the theater on October 30th of 2009 for the release of Rob Zombie's Miramax sequel. Halloween 2, fun fact, is not a sequel to the legendary Halloween from 1981. It actually has nothing to do with it. It only shares the title, nothing more, nothing less. To set the scene, in 2009, I was unhappy. Toxic relationships tend to do that. I made plans to go and see the new Halloween film at a grimy, dirty theater that sold beer in a cup, and you stuck to the damn floor. The seats creaked and groaned when you sat down. The cinema that was Movies 12 was legendary. The dive bar version of cinema, it was magic. Call it the right place and the right time in my life to discover such a movie. The title card was strange, I remember thinking. White horse linked to instinct, drive of the physical body to release powerful and emotional forces. Put yourself in my shoes now for a second. I'm rubbing elbows next to a tornado of emotions of a female right next to me, and then violence smashed through the screen. I'll never forget how violent and jarring that opening sequence was when the van with the crude stories before you suddenly hear, "Cow!" Blood gushes through the teeth of Richard Brake, and boom, Michael is unleashed. You can't tell me that hospital scene and the Knights in White Satin playing in the background didn't give you just a little bit of feels, maybe even some goosebumps. Say what you will about Rob, but he has a way of choosing music that goes on for me to register as core memories in my life whenever I hear them. That hospital scene is ruthless, visceral, and punishing, and one of the standout scenes in the franchise, if I do say so. I'm a big fan of Danielle Harris and Scout Taylor Compton competent, and I ate up the PTSD, the trauma, the bounds, and the scars of their relationship. I thought it was really damn effective. Imagine coming into adulthood processing what Laurie Strode went through. You're gonna have a hard time. You're probably gonna pick up a few vices, drugs, alcohol, and punk rock music. They're gonna set the table for the second half of this movie. Another fan criticism is the turn of Dr. Loomis. Not my Sam Loomis. He would never. Well, let me make one thing nice and crystal sparkling clear. Malcolm McDowell keeps this thing from going off the fucking rails. Profit off the misery of the town? Yeah, that actually works for me because I'm not a diehard Halloween fan, so I can accept some new rules in this sandbox. I always found some of the series relatively tame, relatively safe, maybe even boring. I appreciate a few of the films, especially those first three, and I've come to kind of love them, but I think what works for me is that Rob Zombie, he doesn't have to follow the same hard, fast rules. He wants to do something different, and I didn't need fan service. Give me something new. Give me something real. Give me something with some pacing. Take some risks. Take some chances. And holy shit, does Halloween 2 do just that? I think towards the end, yeah, things get a little silly. Rob Zombie decides to get a little too introspective, even for me, and the dreamlike things don't totally work, but that Halloween party and the concert segment with Captain Clegg and the Night Creatures just ripping it up, that is a vibe. That's a scene and a place that I want to visit. I can also hear all the arguments about Laurie Strode screaming for too much of the movie being a little bit off-putting, hurting the scope of the film, but clearly she can't cope with the reality of what's happening. She's haunted by visions, haunted by nightmares. She blames everyone around her. She's not going to get better, no matter the therapy. Rob was trying to prove a point, I think, and maybe the lack of integrity of the producers and the conditions behind the scenes, those awful, what he had to go through might have contributed to the scope and the meanness of this film and its tone overall. And maybe he just kind of wanted to stick it to him and really put his neck out there and wasn't afraid to take a risk and take a chance. And I think that's awesome, dude. It's isolating, it's divisive, and that's exactly what I like with most of my horror. Take a stand, goddammit, do something different. This film is chock full of that. And now finally, shout out to Brad Dourif. He is forever slighted for not getting a Best Supported Actor nomination for his turn as Sheriff Brackett. He cares so much in this movie, dude. He leaves so much pain and heartbreak all over every single scene he is in. Just chewing up film grain, giving you those one-liners, that kind of like dad of the year, oh man. He breaks my heart, dude. He for me, Brad Dourif, man, Exorcist 3, Child's Play, Cuckoo's Nest, he's great in a lot of things, but this turn of Sheriff Brackett, immortal, dude. He makes it feel, for once in this film, you feel like it's going to be okay. You feel like it's going to be safe. He gives you the humor, the raw emotions, and I can't even imagine poor Danielle Harris, right? Poor Aunt, he gets there, and he's, the first time, it's fine, and this time, he's just a little bit too late. So now that you know a little bit about me, I went to Halloween 2. They re-released it over here in Eugene on October 30th, 2009. I was arguing with my girlfriend on the way there. We broke up in the theater, moved her stuff out that night. Halloween 2 means a lot to me. I really love this movie. My life is so much better because of it. Sometimes, I mean, that's what movies do, man. Movies like unite people, and forever, there's flaws in it, sure, but I am totally fine with it. We don't got to talk about Sherry Moon or whether or not Michael grunts or speaks at the end. That's why you don't watch this version. This forever was the one that I had from like 2010. Boom, stamped on there. This is what you want from Alliance, the Blu-ray. This, I want to say it's from Canada, but plays here just fine. It's the theatrical versions of both, and they both look pretty good for Blu-ray. Rob Zombie shoots on 16, I believe, and every time he makes a movie and he puts it out on Blu-ray, it almost looks like a damn 4K. Looks great, grainy, grimy, beautiful to look at. Sad, depressing movie. I mean, that's what Halloween 2 is, man. It's not... He wanted to do something different. He was going through something. He wanted to take a chance, and then everything with the Weinsteins and Miramax, it all fell apart. Doesn't make it a bad movie. I think it's tremendous. I'm going to die on that hill. It's funny now, like, that I'm like making content and like watching other YouTubers and stuff, it's a trip because now there's like this movement for this movie. Well, I got a really good origin story. I've always loved this movie. I don't care who you are. I just defended it actually the other night with my buddy Fern on that podcast. So get out there. Maybe it's time to rewatch it. Maybe you can say, hey, if it's good enough for Josh and Beyond the Grave, I can hate it just a little bit more. I don't care how you find me. Happy pre-Halloween. Happy Devil's Night. Tomorrow is Halloween, my favorite day of the entire year. If you want to see more from me and old Punky here, like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do down there. Talk some shit. Why do you hate Halloween too? Why did it ruin the franchise? It's getting late, and I've done a lot of these videos this month. Almost 30. Some shorts, a lot of... I have been worked to the bone. I'm missing on watching really good movies like Night of the Demons right now, so I can put this together for you. Follow me on social media. I'm just fucking around. I don't know what tomorrow holds. Maybe I'll put a mask on. Maybe I'll unbox Late Night with the Devil. Maybe me and old Punky here will get drunk. I bet I can hold my liquor a little bit better than this guy. I don't know. I don't know if we'll have enough time. Whatever's going to happen, thanks for being here. Take care of yourselves. Until next time. Cheers.